Yo, what's up, Flavio? What's up, Steve? What's up, Gabriel? What's up, Sonder?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Exhausted. How about you?
Yeah, it it's just been kind of a long day. I was hanging out with a friend of mine who had a family member pass, so like I personally am okay, but they were not, and it was just kind of a heavy situation. But beyond that, I'm doing all right. It's been a decent day. It's been a drama-free day. I don't get too many of those right now, so I'll take it.
The rest of your days are going to be drama free days. Remember that positive
They got
affirmation.
to, man. They gotta be.
Because I'm gonna tell everybody right now in the live stream. I'm gonna tell you guys, you're looking at the next person in the Billionaires Club right here. They're gonna draw my numbers.
Ka-ching.
Just watch.
Why is this not working?
Yeah, that's Sonder. They gonna pour me another round. And Steve, you drinking, brother?
They might not recognize me. I just trimmed my beard down since the last time I was on, and I wasn't wearing a hat.
Oh yeah, man. You almost look as good as me, brother. Almost.
Almost.
That's hard work though, to even get close is like, oh
Yeah.
my God, miracles happening.
Right? I'm trying to get my ring light to work. For some reason, it doesn't want to work. Hold on a second.
The sin of the day is Greenlee. Nice. So Gabriel, got got your package here.
There we go. That's better.
It says a
What's up,
song.
everybody? Getting caught up on the chat myself. What's up, Flavio? What's up, Steve? What's up, Gabriel?
Time to stank up the live. I don't know if I'm gonna spray that one tonight, man. That might be
Which
an
one?
outside thing.
Which one's that?
I think it was Willie and Omar kept telling me, get that Azur Oud.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It might be stanky. You might love it. I'm telling you, man. The more experience you get with oud fragrances, the more you're gonna realize that the super stank ones are like they exist, and some people love them, but most fragrances that have oud don't smell like that. Like they might be medicinal. Like there's a lot of oud fragrances I've encountered that smell like a mechanic shop, and some people don't like that, and that's fine. And there's a lot of oud fragrances that are just kind of like sweet and syrupy, and there's some that are just kind of like woody and deep. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, as long as they're not fecal barnyard, I'm good with all those other ones.
Well, and it's also like like Zerjoff Alexandria to me, sweet, a little syrupy, but I've heard people say like it's I wore that to work one day and I walked in and somebody was like, "Who forgot to flush the toilet?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go wash my neck. I'll be right back."
Right. Let's see. Hey, stanky leg. It's the Grimster. Long time no see. What's up, Jude? How you doing, brother? Yeah, it's been a minute. What's up, Diego?
What's up, Diego? Jude, how's it going?
You got your certified divorce agreement, officially legally single. Congratulations, I'm guessing. I hate to be like, hell yeah, man.
Mhm.
And you're like, I didn't really want to. Like, it
Oh
was hurting
no.
me.
I mean, based on the other stuff that Flavio said, I think we can definitely be celebrating that one. He and I are kind of cut from the same cloth when it comes to that situation. When mine finally goes through, we're gonna be like spraying our most expensive fragrances in the air and jumping into it. Yeah, he says he's happy about it. Well, good. I'm happy for you, Flavio. I hopefully I'm not too far behind you on that one. There's still a lot of uncertainties as far as timeline goes for me, and uh, beyond that, I don't want to say too much more because stuff is still pending.
Oh, damn. Hooked it up. Well, samples all around to package the bottle. Nice. Appreciate you, brother. So you love the new video with Milo?
I need to
Yeah,
watch that. I saw that pop up on my way home, but I was rocking some music on the way home.
got you. Yeah, you don't want to be watching while you're driving anyway.
I mean, like when I'm out door dashing and stuff like that, I'll play videos that I'm listening to, but it's not like I'm looking at my phone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Listen to a lot of podcasts, or I don't know. There's like some like creepy or bizarre story channels that I listen to. You drive all day, every day. Eventually, music. You just need to change it up a little bit.
So I got to get oud for greatness. Oof. I don't know, man. I was not a fan of a Haltane when I smelled my sample.
Food for
Too fucking.
greatness is not stinky. It's just it's got a touch of that kind of like medicinal, like just a touch of it. Mostly it's like a sweet, deep woody scent. Yeah,
See
I don't
now, when I had sprayed that Haltane, it was from their Discovery set, and it just stunk. Like
I mean
there was
I mean
nothing pleasant about it.
I mean you just really might not like oud, and that's fine. You know, like Hultane has always smelled good to me. Um, but also
Yeah, I'm
like
thinking
I don't really wear it, you know.
I'm thinking I got a bad sample. I'm gonna have to give it one more shot.
It's kind of sounds like that to me because of all the people I've ever heard talk about Haltane, like I've definitely heard people say that like they're not the biggest fan of it, but I've never heard somebody say it was stanky like you have.
Right.
Well, I don't know if it was your sample. I don't know if it's just like your particular palate, your nose, which you know both of those are quite possible. But
Well, I
like
got that
it's
Swiss Arabian Shaggoff Oud Royale, which is
right.
supposed to be a clone of either Oud for Greatness or something along those lines, and I like
Well,
that.
I mean, Oof for Greatness and Haltane are very close. Haltane's like a little bit sweeter, a
Leader.
little more versatile, a little more approachable, a little less bombastic, but they're like 80% the same, I would say.
Hold on. So hopefully nothing leaked. Yeah, I don't smell anything, so I'd say we're all good. gonna make it into a date scent.
Pig farm. Steve, what you been smelling?
Right. 7 days Invictus Parfum. Nice. Let's see. Let's see. Frags with that. Gabriel does not do content. Say no, sir. My son started his channel on my phone. It's a good flower. Have you smelled it? Yo, what's up, Stanford? How you doing, brother? Gonna say I have to check you out. Yeah, he's a busy man too. He says he don't have time to mess with us like that. He hops in the lives though. But I do want to show y'all. He sent me 5 decants before, and he sent this, and there's some fat decants in this pack that he sent.
I've heard mixed things about that Azure Oud. It's supposed to be an Oud Maracuja clone, but from what I know, but I've also heard people say that it's got like, well, I'll reserve that until you actually smell it.
I'm afraid.
I don't want to do the thing that people have done to you in the past where you can't dissociate the words from what you're smelling. So I won't do that to you. I'll let you go into it, you know, without my opinions. And also I haven't smelled it. So like what the heck do I know? I don't know anything on that one.
I guess we'll get this one out of the way first. So yeah, anyway, so one of the big reasons for this stream is Saunders got some stuff he's trying to get rid of. So go ahead and fan through your collection there a little bit, maybe just a
Yeah, I
slow
mean,
roll. And
I got I got lots of stuff. I've got some I've got pretty much a little bit of everything. You know, everything from, the rare vintage discontinued stuff. Got as much stuff as I have is that it's kind of hard to know where to start when you're trying to thin things down. There's definitely things I want to hang on to. It's not like I'm selling everything. I'm selling off a portion because I have so much that there's lots of stuff that I don't even ever touch other than like maybe once or twice a year I'll pick up the bottle and like smell the atomizer. So, those would be better to go to somebody that'll actually use them. Um, but yeah, I'll just kind of like I can start by saying I have a little bit of something from most designer houses, Dior, Bulgari, Carolina Herrera, Chanel. I got a lot of Hermes. I got a decent amount of Guerlains. I have a lot of Dolce and Gabbana. I don't know. Most. It's kind of funny in the last couple of days when people have been asking like, "Do you have this? Do you have that?" They're picking out all the things that I don't have, and I kind of like there aren't a whole lot of popular things that I don't have. Um, I can go for some of the more interesting stuff. Let's see here. Um, John Varvatos, Dark Rebel Rider. This was really hyped for a long time. It's kind of I think it's got oud in it, but it's not stanky. It's definitely a leather scent. Um, the only sad thing about this one is that the performance, like most Varvatos, is not amazing, but it does smell really, really good. You just have to kind of drench yourself in it. Um, let's see. I have all three of the Dolce& and Gabbana Middle Eastern exclusives. These have become very hard to find. I think you can still find the red one and the brown one, but the one that was most sought after is this one. Pardon the fingerprints. This is Luminous Night, and it really is good. It's absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a smoky dates, sweet, um, very very nice. I would kind of prefer to sell all three of those as a set, but for the right person in the right circumstance, I would probably be willing to break them up. Um,
So Jen wants to know how much for Dark Rebel Rider.
that I could probably let go for somewhere in the neighborhood of about 120. I think would be fair. It's a 125 ml bottle. I'd say it's probably about 90% full. Um, I'm trying to split the difference between giving people the best deal I can and still getting fair value for this stuff. Like, do I want to sell some stuff so I kind of have like a bit of a financial cushion and you know don't have to worry so much about some various expenses coming up? Yeah, absolutely. I'm motivated to do that, but I'm not desperate. So, I'm definitely willing to wait for the right circumstance. Um, Also, if I quote a price and y'all think that like, whoa, dude, you're way off there. Like that's worth, way less than that. You're like, you know, I'm open to discussion. I won't be insulted by people sort of having a respectful conversation about pricing. Um, but I think 120 for that is probably fair. Um, eBay pricing is not really an accurate way to go about things. You look on eBay and you see some wild prices. But Mercari is kind of more accurate. Um, so that's kind of like if there's something that I'm not really sure what it's worth, what it's going for these days, I've been kind of looking at Mercari, and will kind of do some searches in the Facebook fragrance groups to see what stuff's been selling for. I know that one's worth over 100, but I wouldn't say it's worth a lot more than 100. So I think in the neighborhood of 120 sounds about right. I do also have the original Dark Rebel. This one's a 75 ml. That one I'd be willing to let go for in the neighborhood of 100. That one's pretty much full. Um, I have some river stuff. Oh, look, it's Wax's favorite. Guilty Absolute.
Mm.
Where's Wax when you need him? I miss that guy.
I have not. I reached out to him. It feels like it's been a week to see if he was cool, and he never hit me back up. So I hopefully he is, but I don't bug people.
Right, I totally get that. Stanford's asking about Bulgari Aqua. I do have the original. It's pretty much full. That's about how full they come. They always had a big gap in the bottle. That one's easier to find, even though it is discontinued. The one that I have that's harder to find is Aqua Amara. Both of those are definitely available. Amara is about 2/3, 3/4 full. Knowing that that bottle comes about 3/4 full. Um, Amara I would do for about 100. The regular original Aqua I'd probably do for, I don't know, maybe 70, 80. Um, Generally, one of my policies is if somebody's buying less than $100 worth of stuff, I ask them to cover shipping. But once you go over $100, I'll cover the shipping for that purchase. Um, the very very lauded Gucci Porum 2 full bottle, or like 95% full. These go for wild prices these days. I've seen them going for like $400 or $500. I'd let this go for like 225, 250, somewhere in there. Um, Envy, which is also, it was totally hyped up for a very long time, discontinued for probably I think they stopped making it in 2007, so it's been discontinued for almost 20 years. This is a 50 ml bottle. It's about three quarters full. I'd let this go for about 150. Yeah, Dak. I have Eros Parfum and Flame and Energy, all 100 ml bottles. Um, let's see.
So, Gian was asking about that. Is there? Mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm, no, no, hell no, no. That is, it's like a. I guess that would be some medicinal, but it's like very bitter. Like it makes my mouth want to like I've been sucking on a lemon or something.
like pucker up.
Yeah, that's a negative.
The main thing that I've heard about it, and again, I haven't smelled it, but the main thing I've heard beyond the oud is that it's kind of like got like a rotten fruit smell to it. I don't know if you get any of that or not.
I did not spray it. I just off of the atomizer. I was like, oh hell no,
You're
we
like,
are not putting that in this room.
yeah, we're not spraying that. How about no? Um, and then of course Gucci Pour on One. This bottle's about three quarters full. Unfortunately, the cap's kind of beat up. This is one of the oldest fragrances I personally like purchased brand new that I still have. I mean, obviously I've been wearing fragrances since I was young, but I didn't have a large collection for a long time, so I would actually go through bottles at this point. This is one of the few that I've, bought new, is vintage and discontinued, and I'm the original owner. That I would let go for about 175, maybe 200, somewhere in there. Gucci by Gucci. It's been gone for quite a while. This one didn't get a whole lot of hype, but it was around. It's nice. Again, it's one of those things that do I enjoy it? Yeah. Would I wear it? Sure. Do I actually wear it? No. So, um,
I have a few like that. This man Sarah Amberful is actually pretty nice. I'm digging this.
I have two of the Supreme fragrances from the Polo line, Supreme line. I have Supreme Leather, pretty full. And I have the one that I know Grim wants really, really bad, Supreme Oud.
Oh hell to
He
the
just he
nah.
just
That's
he,
a negative.
it's
I
actually really
think
nice. It's got a little bit of funk to it, but it's not like poopy funk. It's like medicinal funk. It's mostly a spicy, woody scent. For a little while, this one was hard to find. Um, Ralph Lauren Purple Label,
purple
but I,
label.
I've seen it.
Smell
I've
like
seen it
bleaker.
around a little bit more than it was when it originally came out. Um, yeah, I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Roberto Cavalli, but the Womo line had some flankers that kind of were there and discontinued really, really quickly. This is La Note. It's kind of in the ballpark of Leighton or African leather. Um, it's kind of cardamom, sweet, leathery, spicy. Silver Essence is Iris, kind of a fresher Iris fragrance. Um, Deep Desire is like a sweet cashmere fragrance. Um, I've seen those going for wild prices on eBay, and I wouldn't charge anything like that. And then the Golden Anniversary, um, those would probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 120 for the 100 mils. The Silver Essence would probably be more like 80 to 90. I would say is probably fair. I'm digging around for the more interesting discontinued stuff.
You say you bullshitting, right, about the smell, about me not liking that dessert. Nah, that's I I gave it a chance and put it back up to my nose.
Eau Sauvage Parfum. This is the newer formulation, not the older formulation, but it's still very, very nice. Um, I'll show this, but I don't think I really want to sell it because it's such a low partial. This is Eau Sauvage Cologne. In my not so humble opinion, that's one of, if not the best designer citrus fragrance. It's so good. Um, I'm pretty sure that's discontinued, but I'm not positive on that. Aqua Fahrenheit. Seen these going for wild amounts of money. This one is a 125 ml bottle. It's about 70%, somewhere in there. I could let that go for about 150. Um, ooh. I do have some of the confidential line from Carolina Herrera. These are really nice. I really like them, but I just don't wear them. They're all very kind of heavy, thick, dense, cold weather fragrances. And I live in South Georgia, where we get like maybe a month and a half worth of time to wear that stuff. This is Iris Empire, beautiful. It's kind of got that Dior lipsticky iris, but it's not quite as makeup bag as some of the Dior stuff is. Amethyst Haze is maybe one of the best coffee fragrances I've ever come across. It's mostly coffee, vanilla, and lavender. That stuff's like a warm blanket. I would be sad to see that go, but I would let it go. Bronze Tonka, again, very nice. Um, with a name like Bronze Tonka, you'd think it would have like a metallic smell to it, but it doesn't. It's kind of like Tonka and Cashmeran and thick, sweet, very kind of sensuous, sort of date night type scent. Um, those are all from the EDPs from that line. They also have a line of EDTs. So the only one of those I have is Virgin Mint. This is not super duper minty. It's more herbal citrus. It's kind of like lemon and mint, um, but more dry, not particularly sweet. More of a mature fragrance. And then probably the most hyped fragrance from this line is Mystery Tobacco. Um, so Mystery Tobacco, Red Tobacco, Carlisle, all of those are kind of like in the same ballpark. This one came first. If you want to ask what inspired what, Mystery Tobacco kind of started that particular scent accord. And then Carlisle came along, and then Red Tobacco came along. And I'd say that those were definitely influenced by Mystery Tobacco. Those probably like go for about 200 for the EDPs. The Virgin Mint, the EDTs are cheaper. I could let that go for like 125. Um,
All right, so let's see. Gabriel wants to know how much for Iris Empire. Gabe is trying to project some kind of homosexual fantasy that he has, or maybe.
Iris Empire, as I said, I could let go for about 200 bucks. You're not gonna find that fragrance at that price point. Not likely. Every once in a while, that line you can find the testers for like 195 to 205, but they usually sell out almost instantly. Um, I don't have the box, so I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 would be fair. It's practically full. It's like 95%, probably more than 95%. And then I saw Dak wants to know how much for all three arrows. I'm not selling energy. That one I'm keeping. The other two, the Parfum and Flame, mm, 150 ish, maybe. Maybe a little less. I'm not sure exactly if that's completely fair. I know Flame is still being produced, and well, they're both still being produced. I don't really know exactly what the going rate is for those, but both of those are basically full. They're like 99% full. I don't wear them that often. Am I willing to let them go? Yes. Um, I'd have to figure out exactly what a fair price is for that. But I also know those are not like they're not pricey fragrances. So the Parfum is the most expensive of the three original arrows. My bottle of Flame is from the original release. I don't know if it's been reformulated or if they just changed the bottle slightly to say EDP, but it's an older bottle. If that makes any difference to anybody, um, 150 ish. I'd be open to discussion about that.
So Omar and I see Omar and Diego talking about trying to smell the passion fruit in that. If I want something for some passion fruit, it's not going to be surrounded by whatever weird shit is in there. It's going to be a straight up passion fruit like Lamari Porthole, or it's going to be like damn Kajal Ican. That's too much funk to have to get through to smell some passion fruit. Jadoob. Yeah, I've smelled Jadoob at Dillard's. Not a huge fan of Jadoob.
And Stalker, respectfully, if you don't like the prices that I'm offering, that's fine. If you have a suggestion, that's also fine. But let's keep it respectful, please.
Yeah, we're doing no drama over here.
Please and thank you. I'm all about keeping it positive. I've already said multiple times, if I'm off, I'm open to discussion. I'm not open to being lowballed. I'm not desperate to sell things, but if I name a price and y'all are like, "Whoa, you're way off, buddy," okay, I'm allowed to be wrong. Totally allowed to be wrong, and I will stand corrected if I am. Um,
You said I
CHman,
got to get past the leather. I ain't smell no leather in there. I don't think that's what I got to get past. The ch.
CHman Privé, another discontinued. This is only a 50 mil, but it's like 95% full. Um, Cardamom, leather, sweet, masculine, really nice. I mean, it was a hype beast for a while, and it's another one of those that I just kind of don't wear. I'm not sure exactly what a 50 ml of that would be going for these days. I would be open to offers, respectful, fair offers. Um, this is a vintage fragrance. This is beautiful. For anybody that likes fougères that have more of a sweet side to them, like sweet citrusy fougères. This is Chanel Pour Monsieur, but this is not the current one that's out. The current one that's out is the EDP. This is the EDT Concentrate. Um, Again, not exactly sure what things are going for. Open to fair offers. Yeah, Gian, that was Justin Bieber's signature scent for a while. The CH Men Privé. I heard that as well. But honestly, I kind of heard that like right after it got discontinued. So that was kind of funny. It was like they discontinued that fragrance in about 6 or 8 months later, I was hearing how it was Justin Bieber's signature scent, and then everybody was trying to get their hands on it. Oop. Um, let's see other interesting things.
Brad is asking if you would take 90 for both.
For both what? Oh, DAC. 90 for both? No. Really, that's low.
For the arrows.
That's low. Not like super low, but that's low. We could do maybe like 110, 115. That I think that would be a little more accurate. Let's see.
I like this Birth of Venus. DHI.
I know everybody's been wanting to get their hands on this one recently. It's pretty much full. I've probably sprayed this. I bought this bottle new. I've sprayed it probably 15 times max. I like it, but I struggle to wear it in the heat around here. That's fine, Dak. You're more than welcome to send me screenshots and we can talk about it. Like I said, I'm not offended. I'm just trying to be fair on both sides. Fair value. Um, yeah, I can see that, Gian, that the CHMN Privé is kind of like Burberry Touch with booze and leather. I don't know. Burberry Touch was like never a favorite of mine. I do have a 50 ml of that in here somewhere. But yeah, it's almost like a cold weather version of Burberry Touch. I could see that. Um, I do have the original Dior Homme as well. This is not the Dior Homme original. This is the um, this is the formulation that they were putting out before they put out Dior Homme 2020. So it's good. It's not a super old bottle. I think that bottle's from like 2017 or 18. Do have a few Tom Fords. I'm pretty sure this is still in production, but it is kind of hard to come by. Tobacco Oud. It's good. It's really good, but it's another one that I struggle to wear in the heat. This is actually one of the fragrances that really got me into perfumery as an art form. This and Tobacco Vanille were the two that like I smelled and I was like, oh wow, this is art. This is creative expression. It's not just smelling good. I do have Bitter Peach. Both of those are pretty much full. Um, I have a partial of Ebony Fume. It's probably about 60%, maybe 55%, somewhere in there.
Peter, he's not selling off his whole collection. He is trying to trim it down a bit. Gabriel wants to know, was it DHI or Parfum?
It's the Parfum. I do have the 2020 formulation of DHI as well, that I would be willing to part with. But yeah, this is part DHP 2020, pretty much full. I've seen that going for some wild prices recently. I've also seen it going for some reasonably elevated prices recently. Um, as I recall, I got a pretty good deal on that bottle. I could probably let it go for 200, 220, somewhere in there. That almost feels like I'm undercutting myself, but that's fine. That's what we'll go with. 220. I have a 2013 formulation of Dior cologne. There isn't a big difference between the 2013 formulation and the 2020 formulation. The 13 is a little more citrusy. The 2020 is a little more musky, but they're about 95% the same. Uh, if I can get to it, I do have Dermezo Très Fraîche, 75% full, 125 ml bottle. I've had a couple offers on this, but or like it was pending, and then like people on Facebook never got back to me. I was asking 140, I believe, was the price that I was asking, and somebody was like, "Yeah, I'll take it," and then they kind of disappeared. And another person was like, "Yeah, I'll take it," and then they kind of disappeared. So again, open to discussion as long as it's respectful. Armani Privé Iris Celadon. It's very nice. Iris and patchouli scent. Band Boy, I've been selling mostly on Facebook. I do occasionally post things on Mercari. I do not use eBay. I have used eBay in the past. I do not currently use eBay because I don't like it when they take a cut out of my money. I don't like it that I sell stuff and then they come back to me and say, "Hey, you owe me money." So I understand I'm using their platform. I just don't like the way they go about it. Also, eBay kind of has a bad reputation for having fakes of older bottles, discontinued bottles, rare bottles. And while mine are definitely authentic, I've just kind of tried to not associate with selling stuff on eBay. If you start saying you're selling stuff on eBay, then people start asking you if your bottles are authentic, and I just don't even want to have that conversation because I don't own any fake bottles. Well, I take that back. I own a fake Altair, and that fake Altair came from eBay. So just reinforces exactly what I'm saying. That's literally the only fake bottle I have, and it came off of eBay. So there you go. Um,
All right. So someone wants to know if you have Percival PDM for sale.
I do have a 125 ml Percival. It is. If you care about what batch it is, it's from 2 years ago. It was purchased brand new 2 years ago. As far as performance on batches of Percival, I haven't heard anybody ever complain about the performance of that fragrance. Um, my bottle's been sprayed maybe 10 times. Um, I'm looking for it right now. I'd let that go for 150. Which is less than the going rate for a full bottle of Parfums de Marly of just about any particular. There it is, right there. 150 if you want it. There's the easiest way, if you're not already in touch with me. I know a lot of people out there aren't. The easiest way to get a hold of me to finalize this sale would be to message me on Instagram. Same name, Sonderscent, Sonderscent. Direct message me. I do check my message requests. I know sometimes things get sent into purgatory if we haven't communicated before. Message me there. Um, I will be operating on a first come, first served basis, so I'll look for older messages first, to be fair. Message me there if there's something you see that you want. I will message you back. I take most major payment options: Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, Apple Pay. Um, and while I would prefer to use any of those first, I can also accept credit and debit cards through Square. I do have a Square account set up, but they charge a service charge, so I would prefer to do just about any other payment method. But if you like absolutely have to use a credit card, we could do Square. And I don't know, I might ask to add like 2 or 3% on to the asking price just to cover the service fee, um, which in most cases is like a few bucks. It's usually nothing crazy. Um,
Yo, what's up, Luis?
Triumph of
Is that
Bacchus
time for
EDP.
Bacchus?
Yep, this is an older bottle of Triumph of Bacchus EDP. Um, I am the second owner of this bottle, so I don't know exactly how old it is, but I have been in possession of this bottle for 5 years. So it's one of the first several years that it was put out. Really nice. I just there's other tobacco fragrances that I gravitate towards more. I kind of like Zaharov tobacco a little bit better. I like Herod a little bit better. Um, other things. I do have other Marleys available. I have Cologne. Would love to sell Cologne. I don't ever wear it. Kind of smells like a rubber ball to me. Um, there was one point where I was trying to play Pokemon with Parfums de Marley, trying to catch them all. I got close. I was very, very close. I was like 3 away from having every single one of them. But that time has passed. Uh, I do have Byerly. A lot of people don't even know anything about this one. It's woody. It's kind of like sandalwood and vetiver, dry woody. It's very nice. I would be willing to let that go. Uh,
Later, Jerry. Have a good one, brother.
Donnie. It's pretty rare. Most people think the only leather scent that Parfums de Marley has is Godolphin, the gold bottle. Godolphin's like the approachable leather scent. This is like a real man's man leather scent. This is animalic leather. It's good. Um, you have to wear it confidently, or it's gonna wear you. And we have one of Grimm's favorites, of course.
Oh Lord.
Good
Yep.
old good old Carlisle.
Love
Um,
Carlisle.
yeah, I love it too, but I just don't wear it that much. Perseus. Darley. Darley's hard to get in the US these days. Shagya. Nobody ever talks about Shagya anymore. It's kind of a, if you can imagine a summer oud fragrance, that's what Shaggy is trying to be. Um, Hobdon. Everybody like falls all over themselves talking about Wajon as far as like the almost gourmand PDMs, but I think Hobdon's honestly better. I had Wajon, but it sold. That one sold already. That was one of the first ones to go. Lipizan, again, another one of those ones that has become relatively hard to find. Nicean, really nice, masculine, woody, sweet. They were just the rarer ones. Um, Sedley, Greenlee. Most of my PDMs I would let go for 150. Some of the rarer ones would be a little bit more, maybe like 170, 180. But yeah, that's about where I'm at with those. Um, Mind Games, Scholar's Mate, 195. Full French Defense, which is about 90% full, 240. Killian Apple Brandy, highly sought after, long discontinued. This is probably the most expensive bottle I'm going to talk about on this stream. Um, People may say I'm crazy. People may say it's not worth it, but I see this bottle going for way more than the number I'm about to say. This bottle is $300. That's what I would let that go for, and that's less than I paid for it, and far less than I see it going for whenever it's around. It's pretty much full. It's full. So I really do want to move that. That one does have the coffret. Comes with the coffret. Very nice coffret. See if somebody's interested in taking that off my hands. That would be real nice. I kind of bought that when I had money, and it's beautiful. I love it. But again, it's a cold weather fragrance. I don't wear cold weather fragrances very much. Pure Havana. Very, very nice. This one's practically full. Let that go for about 180. I do have the re-release of Pure Malt, which is about half full. I'd let this go for maybe like 120-ish, somewhere in there. Let's see what other Frappon. A lot of people really like Frappon fragrances. I don't know if Grim really knows about this house. This is 1270 Extreme. It's really nice, hot weather, kind of fruity, airy, ambery fragrance. I could do that for 140. Louis Vuitton Orage. It's the only LV I have. I don't have any others. It is very nice. That would be about 225, somewhere in there. It's back 28. I'm not sure. This is normally only available at their Miami store, but in the month of September, you can get it online. I don't know what this is going for new, but I would let that go for about 250. Muscravageur. We all know that Grim likes Muscravageur. I could do that for maybe 150, 160 for the 100 ml bottle. I do have some Xerjoffs. Have one of Grim's favorites. This one's about half full. I don't know. I'd let that go for maybe 125, 100. I don't really know what the going rate for that one is. I know that for a while you could get that really affordably, and then the price just kept going up and up and up and up. I don't want to say some wild amount for a half full bottle. So again, open to discussion. Apollonia, beautiful musky iris scent. This one's can't really see. It's like 90% full. Could do that for maybe 125.
Stanford is asking if you have the bag in the box for the LV.
Bag? I don't know anything about a bag. I do have the box. You mean like the bag you would get when you buy it from the store? No, because I bought it secondhand. But I have the cylindrical box and I have the square box that cylindrical box goes into. No Louis
I
Vuitton bag. I'm sorry.
I see you, GH3. I'm up trying to not interrupt, man. He's trying to slim down his collection over there, so he's got some rare things for sale. What's up, Aiden? Simmer Down is fire. Stanford, like,
Simmer Down is really good.
yeah, I'm rocking it right now. I rocked it today. Very good.
If anybody's looking for hard to find Zaharovs, I do have Of the Immortals. This was Curly's second collaboration with Zaharov. I'd let that go for about 175. I love this, but I don't ever wear it. I just don't. It's so good, but I just don't wear it. I'd let this go for maybe 160. Um, I have Seraphim
Brad,
Blue and Seraphim Red. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. Dak is asking about a Polo Blue.
I do not have any Polo Blue fragrances. I am not a fan of Polo Blue. Um,
Yo, what's up, Kevin? How you doing, brother?
in general, I'm not a big fan of Polo fragrances. I do have a few here and there. Like I have Double Black, which is a really interesting, like coffee and mango. It's nice. It's discontinued.
GH3 said he will buy Halfetti Rose right now.
All right, well, GH3, go message me on Instagram, and when I get off here, I'll get back to you and we'll work it out. I do not have Santal 33. Sorry, Gian.
Say good, brother. Just saw you on the live, getting ready for bed. Figured I'd stop in to say I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for sure. What's up,
Uh,
Trey's channel?
trying to find.
He does have Carlisle GH3.
I do. I do. Um, I have some other interesting rare stuff. Midnight in Paris, EDP. It's probably about 60% full.
Said how much for Carlisle?
Carlisle's gonna be like 175, 180. It's one of the more expensive ones. Um, it generally commands a little bit higher of a price point, and my bottle is one of the older bottles. It's not like a super old bottle, but it's pre-reformulation. Um, so yeah, I could do 175 for that one. Any of the rare breeds, which are the ones with the gold writing and the gold cap, 180. Carlisle 175. The rest of them I would do for 150 as far as Parfums de Marly is concerned. Um, I was looking for. Oh yeah, there it is. I do have a bottle of Precious Treasure. Um, I would let this go for 250. It's been sprayed maybe 15 times max. And I do have the special edition chest that it came with, which I would include with this. There was only 250 of those chests made. Um, so if somebody did want to take this off my hands for 250, you would get the chest with it. Um, Seraphim Blue, Seraphim Red, could do those for 160 each, not together. Um, Memo French Leather, Really nice, kind of leather, rose, lime. 145. You should get your nose on this one. This is one of their like tropical beachy scents. It does have coconut. It's a little floral, so I don't know if it would exactly be your thing, Grim, but it's really nice. The other thing I know that Grim wants
Oh, is that
is
Sugar
sugar.
Kisses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want me to set this aside and you can buy it from me eventually, and I'll give you the like thank you for letting me do this stream price, I'll do that for you. In fact, I'm just gonna do that. There's no rush on that, my brother. I'll just set that aside, and whenever you're ready, I'll give it to you for a better price than you could get it anywhere as a thank you. I might just
You don't have to thank me for anything, brother. This is our community. We trying to look out for each other and share the love of fragrances. But
I
I
I,
do
appre-
appreciate it.
and I appreciate you not wanting to tax me for helping me, but I want to say thank you. So we'll make something good happen for you. I do have some day threes. I do have a few discontinued day threes. Silent Rescue. It's definitely been discontinued. Um, Midnight Whisper, I'm pretty sure, has been discontinued as well. I would let either of those go for 120. Um, I do have a bottle of Bonnie as well. It's that same, the older style bottle. It's basically full. I would let Bonnie go for 100. Um, I don't know if anybody knows anything about Lanvin. Um, this was this came out from them about the same time that Dior was putting out their iris fragrances initially. This is kind of in that direction. It's got a bit of a sweet lipsticky iris, but it's also got vanilla. It's very, very nice. Hard to come by. Honestly, like I love iris. I love the Dior fragrances, but this is better, way better. I'd let that go for 130.
All
Um,
right, let me catch up to the chat here because I
yeah,
got see people asking a couple questions.
yeah, yeah.
He, he does have Coco Loco, right? You said you had a backup and a backup, or did
Both
you sell
so
those?
both of my backups sold almost instantly, and the one that I'm going through, I'm gonna hang on to because I love it. I mean, I know I could go buy another
Right.
bottle, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's backup bottle worthy.
yeah. I had two backups. I went and posted a bunch of Zaharov fragrances on the Zed Lounge Facebook group, and Coco Loco was the second one to go. And like at the same time that I was making that transaction happen, another person hit me up and they were like, "Is Coco Loco still available?" And I'm like, "Well, it just so happens I do have another one." So, but yeah, unfortunately, they're gone.
And Dak is asking about fragrances that you have for under $50. Fanboy wants to know what you have prices on your Instagram and or pick of the bottles.
Anybody that wants to message me on Instagram, I would be more than happy to have an individual conversation with you in more in depth, including pictures of anything that you're curious about, pricing on other things. Um, I owe I owe I owe Dak a conversation already, and yes, I do have tons of stuff under $50 that I'm just not showcasing right now, because I'm trying to kind of showcase the more interesting stuff. But yeah, I've got lots of mid-range designers that I would sell for 50 or less, and then I've got a lot of cheapies, which doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. It's just kind of like, I don't know. Dak, I know I owe you a conversation. The answer is yes. I have lots and lots. I mean, like hundreds bottles that I would let go for 50 or even significantly less than that. So we'll have that conversation, brother. I promise you, very soon, like tomorrow, if it works for you.
And GH3, he had 1,500 bottles in his collection.
Yeah.
He said it's a crazy expensive collection.
I mean, I still do have somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, I've been selling stuff for the last 3 or 4 days, but I've only sold like maybe 40 bottles, maybe 50 bottles. Like nothing. It's not like I've sold a huge amount in the last several days. So yeah, I still have somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500. It's crazy.
G, you can hit him up on Instagram.
Yep.
Gian wants to know how full is that Seraphine Blue. I saw someone asking what sizes are the Zaharov bottles.
That's both
Those
of the
look like the 4 ounce.
seraphims. Both of the seraphims are the 4 ounce bottles, and they're both basically full. They've been sprayed about 10 to 15 times.
Gee, this is someone who is in the fragrance community. He's been subscribed to the channel. We've done a couple live streams together. This is the second or third one, I believe.
Second, but I
Second.
but I'm always hanging out in the chat, so it probably feels like more than that.
Yeah, he's pretty much on most of the lives that we do. So you've probably seen his name, Saundersent. Saundersent.
Yes. Yep. Um, I have a bunch of stuff from Aqua de Parma. I have a bunch of stuff from Mancera. I have a few Montals. I have a bunch of stuff from Nishane. I don't have any of the super high end Nishanes, but I do have like maybe 10. I have some Bonds. I have some Zerjoffs. Um, if anybody's looking for discontinued Armani Code flankers, I have not all of them, but a lot of them. Like I have Armani Code Sport. I have Profumo, Absolute, Absolute Gold, A List, Armani Code Ultime, a few others. I've got Aqua de Joe's. If anybody's looking for a partial of Aqua de Joe Elixir, like a 70% full bottle, I'd let that go for like $50, honestly, because I've got 2 bottles of that. Um,
So Gian is asking, would you take 150 for Seraphine Blue?
uh, I can do 160, but not 150. Or what the heck? Meet me halfway at 155, and that's a deal.
He said,
Yeah.
dang, you went through that elixir, just came out. What about you got the Drop Boys A Intense?
I do not have the intense. I do have the EDP. It is an older screw cap bottle. I think I'm gonna hang on to that one. That's actually one of the ones I wear a lot. But no, I do not have the intense.
What's up, Magnolia?
Um, Gian, that I actually have 2 bottles of Aqua de Joe elixir. Um, I got one, and that one's at like 95%. I haven't worn it that much. The other one came as part of a bundle trade. Somebody kind of threw it in to sweeten the deal on something they really wanted. So yeah, I actually have.
Yo, what's up, Brian? Yes, that is Sonder. Gian is asking if you have the box too. He said he'll give you 160 if you have the full presentation.
I absolutely. Mm, I'm pretty sure I have the box for Seraphine Blue. I'm not 100% on that. But when it comes to the Zaharovs, I generally save the box. But I got that one right before I had to move. So I'm pretty sure I have it, but I'm not 100% on that. I'd have to look around, but I'm pretty sure I do. Um,
Stanford said he just messaged you about the Musk Ravageur.
okay, cool. Obviously, since I'm doing this live right now, I'm not fielding messages at the same time. If I don't get to y'all tonight, I will get to y'all relatively early in the morning tomorrow. Um,
Well, you guys are all in the Discord, aren't you?
yes, yeah. So I will, Stanford for the Musk Ravageur. Since you've expressed interest, I won't sell it to anybody else until I talk to you, and we'll see about working that out. Trying to think what other
Well,
like
gee, he's been collecting for what's 30 years now.
somewhere around there. I mean, I've been buying fragrances for about 30 years. Actively collecting is probably more like 14, 15 years. But when I at the point that I was like, okay, this is a thing I want to invest money and time and you know thought into. At that point, I already had maybe 100 bottles somewhere in there. Um, but yeah, it was like I started. I discovered niche, and that kind of pushed me over into the all right. Let's do this. Let's collect these.
All right, later, Brian. Have a good one, brother. You need to get your nose on this, man. This Simmer Down is fire.
Uh-oh, Magnolia's
Magnolia is asking
asking
myself.
about myself. I do have a 70% full 100 ml bottle of that that I would potentially let go relatively cheap. I don't know, maybe like $50, maybe 55, just to help me cover shipping on that if that's the only one you're taking. But if you took more than just that one bottle, I'd let it go for 50.
Asking about spice bombs, and I believe I saw Boss fragrances.
I do have a lot of Boss fragrances. I have Elixir and Absolute, but I'm going to hang on to those. I have some of the Canteen bottles. I have some other Boss bottled fragrances. I have most of the scent line. I think the only two from Boss the Scent that I don't have are the original one and Intense, which is nearly impossible to find these days. But I have all of the other ones. Um, I have Boss bottled Oud. Actually, I have a rare one that I would potentially be willing to let go is Boss Bottled Intense EDP. Um, I'd probably let that go for like 140. Yeah, 140.
So he said, hold up. Gian says you have Boss the Sun Elixir. How much?
I do have Boss the Scent Elixir. I think that one's going for like 95 on discounters, brand new. My bottle's been sprayed like 5 times. I'd let it go for like 185. Or sorry, 85, not 185. 85. Um,
Dak is wanting to know about his poor people discount.
Dak, you and I will talk, brother. I will definitely do my best to hook you up as best I can. As I said, I'm really trying to split the difference between like I want to give people good deals because I like giving good deals and that encourages people to buy stuff, but at the same time, I'm not desperate to sell off my collection, and it's a little painful. So, um, getting fair value, just fair, not more than they're worth, but getting just fair value kind of cushions the blow, if that makes sense. Um,
Jan said he will buy elixir off of you. Willie asked about what now? For the scent and frags. If y'all are both asking about the same one, that might be a whoever sends the money first kind of thing.
um, Come on,
What's
Sam.
making them sell them? Just trying to slim down a bit and just get a little bit ahead, a
Yeah,
little cushion.
I work a lot, and I'm a single dad, so I've got some expenses, and I'm not exactly living to paycheck to paycheck, but I'm also not exactly rolling in it. And when you've got 1,500 bottles, if I was to put like a very generalized price tag on my entire collection, like probably somewhere between like 45 and 60 grand, 45 to 60 grand, somewhere in there. It's probably what the whole thing was worth. I've actually had a couple of people come along and say they wanted to buy my whole collection, and I'm kind of like, are you for real? If you're for real, how would that even work? Because I can't ship this many bottles. you
Right.
know like, I'm a single dad. I can't bring them to you. Like, there's a guy in Illinois that's been talking to me for like 3 or 4 days now. Um and initially I was like, if you're for real, like, show me a screenshot of a bank account with your name on it that shows that you actually have the capital to do this. And he did. I mean, it may be real, it may not be real. You can fake things like that, but at least he did do that, and it didn't take him but like a couple minutes to do so. So that was kind of convincing. And he said he'd be willing to come to Georgia from Illinois to pick them up. But at the same time, I'm not looking to sell my whole collection. Like Grim said, I'm trying to slim down. I've got more than I can wear. I've got things that I know people want that I don't wear that have value. So, I'm just trying to find mutually beneficial situations.
So Magnolia says he wants myself and Stronger with You leather if you have it.
I do have Stronger with You leather, but that one's not going to be cheap. It's a 100 ml bottle. That would be like 150. That's the lowest I could go on that. Because that one's really hard to come by these days, and it's still highly sought after. And my
So
bottle's like 95% full. It's here. It's right here.
Gian said 85. I'll send it tonight.
Gian, if that's the only bottle you're buying, I'm gonna have to ask for you to pay for shipping as well. As I said earlier in the stream, if it's under $100, I'm asking people to pay for the shipping. If you purchase $100 or more, I will cover the shipping. But you and I can have a conversation about that on the Discord, and we can try and work something out. Um,
He
I'm not.
said bundle of scent elixir and seraphim blue question mark.
Yeah, we'll make that work. We'll have a conversation. We'll make that work, and I'll cover the shipping.
Magnolia, yes. This is some good stuff.
Um, for Seraphine Blue and the scent Elixir together, I can do. Um, we'll talk about it in the Discord. I'm thinking about like 5 different things right now, and I don't want to give you a number and then like have to change it or something like that. That wouldn't be fair to either of us. So we'll talk about it in the Discord. Um, but yeah, I know I said like 155 for the Seraphim and 185, or sorry, 85 for the set elixir. Um, I'll do either, that combined, or I don't know, maybe a little bit better. We'll have to see. It won't be more than the combined price that I just gave you. And I'll cover the shipping. Um, I do have some Guerlain ideals. Um, I have Platine Privé. It's about 85% full. I have the original formulation of Ideal Extreme. That's about 90% full, 95. I have the original formulation of the EDP. That's about 80% full. Um, I don't honestly not exactly sure about prices on those, but it wouldn't be anything too crazy. Kind of whatever the going rate is, I just have to look into that. Baby cat, 125 ml bottle of baby cat, 245. I would sell that for 245. I do also have a mostly full bottle of Tuxedo. That one's a little bit lower. I do that for 240. Those are the only two YSL private line bottles I have, but I do have the re-release of M7 Oud Absolu. This is a much more reasonably priced bottle. I could probably do that for like 80. I don't know. I know that there's plenty of bottles of that floating around. I don't really know what they're going for. So I'm thinking 80, but again, I'm open to discussion. I had 1 million Privé that sold. That was another one of the first ones to sell. I do have a bottle of 1 million Lucky. I have a bottle of 1 million Intense, and I have a bottle of 1 million Absolutely Gold. Both the last two are fairly long ago discontinued. Somebody was asking about Spice Bombs. I do have Spice Bomb Fresh. If anybody was really interested, it's pretty full. Could do that for like 115. I do have the older formulation, the Beast Mode formulation of Extreme. I don't really remember how full this bottle is. I think it's like half full. It's like 60% full. I could do that for $100. Um, uh, I don't know. Anything else? Anybody else is looking for? Any other requests? Any other houses that I haven't mentioned anything from?
Omar is asking about Shalimar Millesime Tonka.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any of the like higher end bottles from Guerlain. I know Shalimar's not necessarily like one of their Privé bottles, but I don't have any of the women's Guerlains, and I don't have any of the um, La Art and Materier collection. I don't have any of those. I'm sorry.
And Omar was also wanting to know how much you're selling Gucci Porom, or Gucci Porom 2.
Gucci Pearl 2 I can do for 250 for a 95% full 100 ml bottle. Promise you, you're not going to find a better deal than that.
Longevity on the Marley. I did not time it today. I did wear it to work. I was not smelling it. at the end of my shift. The trolley is actually pretty decent.
The Trolley Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to try that. I want to try that real bad.
Cali Fofo is thinking about that baby cat. He's on
Ooh,
a buying freeze, but
Cali Fofo wants my baby cat. Yeah, I know. That one's getting harder and harder to find. I know that I'm pretty sure they re-released it, but that's the older bottle with the white label. Might make Cali Fofo break his buying freeze for a vintage bottle of baby cat. Which honestly, like if you were gonna break your buying freeze, that would be a proper bottle to do it for. 100%. I do have some Pizzaglias, some other Pizzaglias. I have Sexy, really nice aquatic, kind of tropical aquatic. I have one of Grimm's favorites, Been Ecstasy, uh, Cherry Ink. It's nice, kind of ambroxany cherry scent. Little inky, little ambroxany, little sweet. For a cherry scent, it doesn't have any of that like cough syrupiness to it at all. It's nice and fresh with kind of a hint of like nice bitterness to it. Um, Miami Tropical Confessions. I do have a city rhythm that is discontinued, hard to find. Of New Orleans, Jazz and Booze. Um, Just gonna keep going through things without quoting prices unless people are asking just for the sake of keeping it rolling. Um,
yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to hop off here soon.
that's fine.
We could
Yeah,
definitely do it again. I got on super late tonight. Like
yeah.
I was late at work and everything else.
And it's been a
So
long day for me too, dude. Like I need to get some rest. Um, I would say anybody anybody that's interested in anything that I've shown. If you're part of our Discord, go ahead and message me there. Otherwise, at Sonderscent, SONDERSCENT, at on Instagram. Message me there. I can't promise I will get to you tonight, but I will be handling business in the morning. I'll probably start looking at things about 9 a.m. Eastern time. Um, and I will look at older messages first, just to be fair to people. It will be first come, first serve. So, if you send me a message and I message you back and you don't get back to me for like 2 or 3 hours, I will move on to another person if they're interested. But I'll at least give you a couple of hours to get back to me tomorrow. Um, just to not be rude. It's not my intention to frustrate anybody. Um, but yeah, beyond that, Grim, thank you so much for just kind of letting me showcase some things and try and move some things. I appreciate everybody in the chat, being respectful, and um, anybody that buys anything, you're really helping me out. So thanks to y'all as well. I really appreciate it.
all right, y'all. Sonder, whenever you want to do it again, we can.
Okay.
I think it deserves a little more time than what I was able to give it tonight because you
Yeah.
got so much.
Yep.
Um, I just since they kept me on to 11 last night, I woke up before my alarm went off today. It's 11 now, I believe. It's almost 11. So waking up
Yeah.
again at 4:30 is I'm exhausted.
I feel it, brother. I appreciate you doing this tonight. I totally understand. Happy to do it again. Let me see what I can move from this first one. Maybe give me a couple of days, and we'll go from there.
Okay, that works.
Cool.
Sorry everybody if I didn't get to you. Trying to let Sonder put y'all up on what he's got in the collection. um, if you want to try to get a hold of him, go ahead and give him your Instagram again so they can hit you up.
Saunderscent at SONDERSCENT. It is singular, not plural. There is somebody out there that has Saunderscents. That's not me. Most of you have seen the cabinet that was behind me. Let me walk back in there again. You see this double black cabinet? You can, if you find my profile, you will see plenty of pictures of that collection on my profile. That'll let you know it's the right one.
Yo, yeah, what's up, Parker? Yeah, I'm leaving, brother. I've been on here for an hour and a half, and I'm exhausted, man. My eyes are like burning.
Yeah, we're both really tired. It's been a long day for both of us.
All right, man.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna hop off and I'll let you close it on out. Thank you very much, Grim. I really appreciate you, brother.
No problem, brother.
All right. Talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you later.
Later.
All right. Um, and I saw that we're frozen, so I guess, well, I'm going to bed anyway, y'all. Appreciate the 19 likes. Appreciate everybody that tapped in. Appreciate everybody who's helping Sonder out. Um, you know, unfortunate that he's got to slim down a little bit with them, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It seems like he's giving you guys some great deals, so win-win for everybody involved with that. I'll be up at 4:30 in the morning for work tomorrow. So if I go to bed right now, I get 5.5 hours of sleep, which is not really going to be enough, but I guess we're going to have to make it enough. But y'all have a good night. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I don't know what time tomorrow. Probably around the usual time. Um, Hopefully a little earlier tomorrow. But y'all have a great night.